Welcome back to yet another problem of the day, which is odd even linked list, and let's solve today's LeetCode daily challenge. And given the head of the singly linked list, group all the nodes with odd indices together, followed by the nodes with even indices, and return the reordered list. The first node is considered as odd, and the second node is even, and so on. Note that the relative order inside both the even and odd groups should remain as it was in the input. You must solve this problem in order of one extra space and order of n time complexity. So we can make use of this new UI and we can just start the timer here. Okay, actually what is the problem states? We are given a head of the linked list. We have to group odd even nodes, the nodes that are in odd and even indices, and finally we have to return the whole linked list. So let us consider this 1 2 3 4 and 5. So this is the head of the linked list. What we can obviously do is we can make an extra, we can have an extra space and store it in the vector, and we can easily take the odd indices and even indexes, and we can just store as 1 3 5 and 2 4, and we can make the list, we can make the list and we can return it. But the time complexity for this solution will be order of n, and the space complexity is order of n, but we want to use an order of one extra space to solve this problem. So how can we do this? So we can use pointers to do that, but let us analyze how the pointers are going to work here. So actually we know that this is the head of the linked list, so we have to separate them as odd and even groups. So for each iteration I can just make this 1 to point to this 3, then 2 to 4, and similarly again next 3 should point to 5, and so on. It should go like that. So let us consider our first pointer, which is at head, and our second pointer, which is at head of next. Let us consider like this. So my first pointer is going to be at this position, and our second pointer is going to be at this position. So how it is going to move? How can we group them? My first pointer of next, let me do like this itself. First of next is going to point to my second of next. If this if this line executes, then one of next will be pointing to 3, then 2 of next should be pointing to 4, right? So then we can say it as second of next is equals to, if there lies a, if there lies a second of next of next, if there lies a second of next, then my second of next will be pointing to second of next of next. So what does this mean? 2 of next is 3 and 3 of next is 4. So since there lies a 4, this 4 should be pointing to 2 of next. So I have made this line to execute that case. Now second of next is pointing to 4. Now how will be the linked list? 1 of next is pointing to 3 and 2 of next is pointing to 4. Now we can just move our pointers. First is equal to first of next, and similarly second is equal to second of next. So after these two lines executes, first will be at 3. First will be at 3 and second will be at 4. Correct? Yeah. Actually, that is our problem states, right? Because 2 of next should be 4. After these 4 conditions executes, 2 of next will be 4 and 1 of next will be 3, and this condition after executing this 1 of next is 3. So now again we can try to execute this same condition. First of next is second of next, that is 3 of next is 5. Yes, as it is in our input, as it is in our output, 3 of next is 5. So this condition is true and 3 of next is 5 now. Then we are checking whether second of next is present. Second of next is null. So it is a null. So null is not valid. So if condition is not going to execute. When this condition is not getting executed, or else anyways the 4 of next should be a null. 4 of next should be a null. So let us try to execute this condition without this if condition itself. So second of next is equals to second of next. Let us handle the other edge case if there is any problem in even number of linked list. Let us see before that. Okay, now second of next is equal to second of next. So now 4 of next will be pointing to null. Hope you are getting. So listen carefully in this video so that you will be getting what I'm trying to say. So now my 4 of next will be pointing to null. So now my first equals to first of next. That is 5, f will be pointing to 5 now and second will be pointing to null now. As you can see that we have completed the iteration, that is second came to null, so second is invalid. So obviously this iteration is going to get executed, but you have to note one point here. Now the odd group and even group is connected to the end node of the odd linked list and the head of the second link head of the even linked list. That is 5 of next is pointing to 2 now. So we want to keep a temporary node second head which is going to store the second initially. So what does that mean is 2 will be stored initially itself. So when I store this base condition itself, my second head will be pointing to second. So if this is pointing, I have the temporary node second node. So after this iteration completes, my first of next, this will be inside a while loop, this will be inside some while loop. Let us declare the conditions later. This will be inside the while loop. Once after this while loop executes, this can be so once this while loop ends, our first of next should be pointing to my second head and 5 will be connected to 2. So hope this will satisfy, hope this will give our correct output for example 1. But this is for odd number of nodes. But what if there is an even number of nodes? We have to take care that as well. So let us consider there is a node 6 here. Similarly, we would have been in this iteration. And my first will be pointing to 5 and my second will be pointing to 6. So till now our node will be looking like this, our links will be looking like this: 1 3 then 5, then there will be some another group which is 2 then 4 then 6. So when there is an even number of nodes, my second of next is null. So our condition will be second second should be present. Sorry, if my second is not null, if my second is not null, and if my second of next is not null, if my second is not null and second of next is not null alone, we are going to execute this inside the while loop. So this is our condition, this is our condition now. So since there is no second of next, so second of next, we will not be executing this while loop. Again we will be pointing this 5 of next with second head. So now let us try to code this. If you didn't understand, you can rewatch this again so that you will get an understanding how it flows. Now let us paste this. We can declare the pointers. Let's node star first, then second. I need a second head as well. So first will be pointing to head, second will be pointing to head of next, second head will be pointing to second, or we can say it as head of next, no issues. And if my second and second of next is present, my first of next will be pointing to second of next, second of next will be pointing to second of next, then first will be moving to first of next, and my second will be moving to second of next. So by this our first and second will be moving, and at the end of the day we are going to point the last node of the odd group, and we are going to connect the last node of the out group and the first node of the even group. That is done here. First of next is equal to second head, and we are going to return head here. So we can handle some base cases. If my head is null, or if my head of next is null, we can just return head. So hope this should work. Now let us try to run our code. Okay, we are getting a wrong answer. Let us analyze what is happening here. Sorry, I have done a silly mistake here. Actually, we want to actually I am seeing whether it is a null, but actually here there should be there should not be a not case here. Now we can run our code, because once my second is present and my second of next is present only, I should go inside this while loop. I have done a silly mistake. So now let us try to have another test case with an even number of nodes, so that we can make sure that we are actually having a correct code. It gets accepted even for an even number of nodes. Let us have other sample examples like 1, then other sample examples like 1, 2, and another sample example if there is no number of nodes. Will there be no number of nodes? Number of nodes in the linked list can be 0 as well, so we can have an empty list. So now let us try to run our code. Superb, it gets accepted for everything. Let us submit the code now. Great, it gets accepted. Hope you like the solution and let me know in the comments. I will also give a dry run. Or if this is our base case, if my head and head of next is not present, then we can just return head. Else we can have 3 pointers: first, second, and second head. The first is pointing to head and second will be pointing to head of next, and second head will be storing the head of the second group. So while my second and second of next is present, my first of next will be pointing to second of next will be pointing to second of next, and my first and second will be moving one step ahead. And then at the end of the day, we will be pointing the first of next to be second head and return the head. This is our code. The time complexity will be order of n, and space complexity will be order of 1, which is expected. So hope you like this video. Let us see in tomorrow's LeetCode Daily Challenge. Until then, bye.